Good morning, today we're going to look at festivals in Islam. There are 3 festivals that you need to know about, so this video is going to focus on Laylat al-Qadr, or the Night of Power. In Islam, festivals are important as they mark times when families and communities can gather together to remember, celebrate and offer thanksgiving. Some of the festivals may be anniversaries of important events or reenactments of ancient rituals. Muslim festivals have special significance, often because they're related to events or stories from Islamic history, such as the Night of Power. They're also often occasions to worship and remember the presence of God in Islam. Islam, though, has relatively few holidays and festivals, and they're quite simple events. Prophet Muhammad instructed his followers not to overindulge and be extravagant in their festivals. In the hadith, he told his followers he's not Muslim who goes to bed with a full stomach while his neighbour goes hungry. And therefore a big part of Muslim festivals is about sharing with the community and with the poor. Muslims celebrate festivals for a number of reasons. Firstly, to express their Muslim identity and provide a dedicated time to worship and give thanks to Allah. They also remember their religious and cultural history and heritage, remembering key events that have happened. It also gives them an opportunity to develop and practice Muslim values like generosity and self-discipline. During festivals, they often spend time with family and with the community or ummah, but they also share with the poor in the community through acts of charity. Laylat al-Qadr, or the Night of Power, is one of the holiest days in the Muslim calendar. It marks the date when the Quran was first revealed to Prophet Muhammad. Now, Islamic tradition is not certain on the exact date of this event, so it's remembered on one of the odd-numbered nights in the last 10 days in the month of Ramadan, either 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th or 29th. The Quran says, "We have sent down to you the book as clarification for all things and as guidance and mercy and good tidings for Muslims." Laylat al-Qadr is therefore considered to be one of the most important days in the Muslim calendar because it remembers the point when the Quran was given to Muslims, and they see this as the ultimate guide and authority in their lives.
Allah, or God, sent the angel Gabriel, Muslims call him Jibreel, to take the words of the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad. Muslims aren't allowed to draw Muhammad, peace be upon him, so here's his name written in Arabic. Muhammad was praying all by himself in a cave. Jibreel spoke to him and said Iqra, which means read. Muhammad couldn't read or write, so he replied, "I cannot read." Again, the angel said, "Read." Again, Muhammad replied, "I cannot read." Jibreel grabbed Muhammad and said, "Read in the name of your Lord who has created you from a drop of blood." Just like that, Muhammad found he could recite the words that Jibreel had brought him. The word Quran means to recite, which means to read something out loud. Muhammad had many meetings with Jibreel throughout his life to get what we have as the Quran today.
During Laylat al-Qadr, Muslims might stay up all night reciting the Quran, praying and remembering Allah's mercy and forgiveness. Devout Muslims might try to mark the night by taking time off work to carry out extra worship. More time might be dedicated to the study of Muslim holy texts and sources of authority such as the Quran, Hadith and Sunnah. As they remember the commitment of Prophet Muhammad, they may also reflect on the ways that they too can continue to live a life in submission to Allah. During Laylat al-Qadr, Muslims might take additional time to reflect on their personal sins and remember their responsibility to work on their greater jihad, their inner struggle for Allah. They might take time to ask Allah for forgiveness. Islam teaches that on this night, the mercy of Allah is even greater than any other night, and prayers are more likely to be answered and sins more likely to be forgiven. This relates to a teaching from Prophet Muhammad in the Hadith, who said, "Whoever establishes the prayers on the night of Qadr out of sincere faith and hoping to attain Allah's rewards, then all his past sins will be forgiven." Now, one of the D questions that you could get in this unit is whether or not Muslims should celebrate religious festivals. Now, many Muslims would agree that they should celebrate festivals as it provides a meaningful opportunity to express their religious identity, but also remember their history and heritage. For example, festivals like Eid al-Adha remember the story of Prophet Ibrahim and his submission and dedication to Allah, which could inspire Muslims to follow his example. In addition, it provides a useful way to pass this history and heritage onto new generations of Muslims, and that will in turn continue the religion. In addition, many Muslims would argue that celebrating festivals is important because they provide a set period to remember, empathise with and give back to the poor. During festivals like Eid al-Adha, the animals sacrificed are often shared with the poor, and following Eid al-Fitr, Muslims give zakat. Prophet Muhammad in the Hadith advised Muslims to make the donation of zakat during Eid al-Fitr for the purpose of providing food for the needy, As such, festivals help build and strengthen the Muslim community or ummah. In Islam, festivals provide a set time to worship Allah, develop a personal relationship with Him and say sorry for wrongdoing. For example, during Laylat or Qadr or the Night of Power, Muslims will ask for mercy, believing their sins are more likely to be forgiven on this night. Prophet Muhammad in the Hadith said, "Whoever establishes prayer on the night of Qadr out of sincere faith and hoping to attain Allah's rewards, then all his past sins will be forgiven." And therefore, festivals is a really important part of the Muslim faith. On the other hand, though, some might argue that there's a danger when celebrating religious festivals in that people get carried away in their celebrations, become overindulgent and forget the true meaning of why they're celebrating. This is arguably seen in many Western celebrations such as Christmas, where it's become very materialistic. This would be seen to go against the Muslim principles of charity. Prophet Muhammad said he is not Muslim who goes to bed with a full stomach while his neighbour goes hungry. In addition, some might argue that Muslims shouldn't have to practice festivals, but it should be a matter of choice and intention. Festivals are not directly one of the 5 pillars of Islam, although there are links between them. And therefore it could be argued that there's less need to practice festivals over performing other religious duties. In the Quran it says, "O people, listen to me in earnest, worship God, perform your 5 daily prayers, fast during the month of Ramadan, and offer zakat. Perform hajj if you have the means." And therefore other duties take priority over festivals. Connected to this then is the argument that actually other practices have a greater impact. Some Muslims argue that whilst festivals are enjoyable, there are other practices that have an impact on the Muslim faith and offer a better way to express the Muslim identity. For example, charity is more important as this has a positive impact on society and the Muslim community, offering more tangible results than just celebrations. As the Hadith says, "Whoever amongst you sees an evil, he must change it with his hand, and if he's not able to do so, then with his tongue." Finally then, in Wales and the UK, Muslim festivals are not national holidays, and so it's much more difficult to practice festivals in the traditional way. For example, the festival of Eid al-Adha, the festival of sacrifice, involves the sacrifice of an animal in order to show devotion to Allah. In the Quran it says, "Their meat will not reach Allah, nor will their blood, but what reaches him is piety or devotion from you." This may be more challenging to organise in countries where they don't have the traditional practice of Muslim festivals. Hope you found that useful. If you want to test yourself, get on Quizlet or Kahoot. If not, have a go at the practice exam questions on the following slide. Good luck.